What's up, peoples? How you doing? Now listen, I know you see these live streams, they're called the ChAoS, and the whole point is, if my sons are in this, then I wanted to say the ChAoS. What are you doing up at 4:28 in the morning, Omen? I don't sleep much. I probably should. I know I should. But I was thinking about this fucking dream I had, and I thought I would share it with everybody. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now I want you to understand when I first had this dream. Okay, I was like fucking 3 or 4 years old. You're saying, how do you remember that you were 3 or 4 years old when you had this dream? Because my brother wasn't born yet, and he was born when I was fucking 5, because he was born on my goddamn birthday. So, since it was before then, I was 3 or 4 fucking years old. Now I digress. Since we've established how I know the fuck I was 3 or 4 when I had this dream, let's move on, shall we? Yes, we shall. Now 3 or 4, right? Now, when I was a kid, a little youngin', I used to have very terrible nightmares. Night terrors. Not nightmares. Night terrors. You're like, what's that mean? Are you scared of the dark? No. I actually like the dark. I fucking love it. I don't love it when there are things in the dark. Those things that dwell in the dark, like I do, terrify me. Like I terrify my mom sometimes. Only sometimes. Just sometimes. Not all the time, just sometimes. But that's not the point. The point is this. Night terrors, I had them, right? So, I didn't get a night light. I had a yellow light. It was a light bulb. My room had a light in the ceiling, and my dad put a yellow light bulb in there. And he would turn this yellow light bulb on, because it wasn't very bright. It was just enough, which actually made things worse, because it was just enough for shadows. Not enough to illuminate so that you could discern which shadows really should be there. It was just enough light where you couldn't tell should there be shadows there or not. You just knew there was light, and shadows were a possibility in light, but this light was so dim that there really wasn't any way to discern whether the shadows were supposed to be there or not. So it just made things worse. Made things worse for me. God damn it. Now I know what you're fucking saying. What the fucking goddamn hell does this have to do with your fucking dream, and why are you swearing so much? Why do you sound so angry? Because I am angry. Fucking mad. I don't know why, but I am. Anyway, had this dream. It's fucking, like I said, before 5. So 3 or 4. Let's say 4 for the sake of goddamn memory argument, that you can't remember anything before a certain age, when I know goddamn well you can. I know you can, because I remember things. I remember things. But that's neither here nor there. What is here now is the fact that we're talking about what I'm talking about. And I don't remember what I'm talking about, but I'm gonna remember in about 3 or 4 seconds. Blam, right? Blam. The goddamn shit happened. What happened, you say? What I told you happened. The nightlight made no difference. Shadows, I could see them. Shadows. Dream I had. of me stabbing me stabbing me in the back. But it was an older me. Now, mind you, I'm like 8. You know, less than fucking. It was a reoccurring dream, okay? I know what you're saying. Oh, he lied. We caught him in a lie. Ask my goddamn parents. They won't lie for me. Ask my brother and sister if they know anything about this fucking dream. You know why they don't know? Because I didn't share it with them. This will be the first time they heard it. And they were born after this dream. My brother when I was 5, and my sister when I think I was about 8 years old. Okay? So you can fact check it if you want to. Like I said, I have no reason to lie about anything. At all. I'm not ashamed of my life. There's some things in it that are questionable. Questionable. Very. Super questionable. Like you would say to yourself, why am I even watching this fucking guy? Because people do questionable shit. It's the ones that don't learn from the questionable shit that they do, so that they no longer do questionable shit, that you should be worried about. And some of those people are people who do the same fucking... Hold on, I'm reaching for a bag of snacks that I have. But they do the same questionable shit all the time, and they tell you that it's okay because they're in a position of power. But that's not the point. The point is what I was talking about, okay? The point is what I was talking about. What I was talking about is the whole fact that the nightlight couldn't be used. Because it made no difference. Now, I know what you're saying. He said something about getting stabbed in the back. Yes. Now, in this dream, right, I was in this room. Hold on a second. My phone is going off.
It's going to drive me insane if I don't stop it.
And I have food. And the microwave is going to drive me crazy if I don't stop that. Look, I know you guys miss your uncle and shit, right? I get it, but leaving the fucking exhaust fans on drives me insane. Yeah, I know. You guys miss? You guys weren't doing.
Dad.
What?
Miles had tried to make some chicken tenders.
He burned some shit.
He forgot about the grease. It almost caught fire.
Oh my God! You almost set the house on fire. Look at this. The sun's.
It wasn't the. I don't think it's that. It's just
I'm not worried about it. See, like he says it, and see the fact is, like you see how casually he says this to me because he knows I'm not worried about it because I know they would know what to do if a fire did start. I know what you're saying. That's irresponsible. No, it's not. How is it irresponsible? Let's not fuck the story shit. Fuck the story shit. I'll leave the music playing, but fuck the story shit because let's be real about some real shit right now. Let's be real about what is appropriate for kids, right? What's appropriate for kids? I guess it totally depends on the context in which certain things are being exposed to children, right? For instance, me teaching my children about sex. Is it appropriate? Yes, very. Someone else teaching my children about sex. I guess it all depends. Now, from my standpoint, no one should. No one. Not the schools. Because they're going to teach my sons and maybe your daughters some crazy ass shit that I don't agree with right now. Okay? I don't agree with. Yeah, this is live. And even if you're not watching it now, guess what? It's gonna be on YouTube later for you to watch. I do not subscribe, will not subscribe, will never subscribe to anyone or any person, trans person, whatever, thinking that you're born male and you don't want to be a male, so you're no longer a male because you chopped your dick off have a hole drilled in you, and then take medications and shit, and have to fucking sit there and dilate your twat for the rest of your fucking life because your body thinks it's an open fucking wound, which it is, because you're not a female. You're just a man who has decided to mutilate himself simply because he can't get along as a man. Well, it's not easy being a fucking man, god damn it. It's not easy being a fucking man. Now, I would say certain things that I feel should be said, but I'm angry at the time, and I may say things that I may not mean for everyone to hear. Just the fuck-faced pieces of shit that shit here. And I know what you're saying. Why is he so fucking mad? I'm mad for a lot of reasons. Damn it. I'm mad for one reason, that I'm eating dinner and it's goddamn fucking 4:30 in the fucking morning. No, I'm eating dinner. Get the fuck out of my face, fly. I'm mad because there's fruit flies in my house. And all you have was some goddamn bananas. It's every single time I get bananas too, you know. I've just thought about this. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's where they grow them. Maybe fruit flies are made on purpose. I've always wondered why you never see them before you see them, you know. You see flies. Oh, don't let that fly in the house. Get maggots, trash, fucking flies, right? You see them come in, you expect them to be around. Roaches, you see them come in. And even if you don't, you figure they're in the walls. But fucking fruit flies, people. What the fuck? Are they like microscopic? Because that's what someone's going to tell me. That's what someone's going to tell me. You know, and I've studied them for a little bit. Not a lot. Not a lot, but a little bit. You know, they function differently than other fucking flies. Most flies, like house flies and shit like that, are not very active at night. They're not drawn to light. Windows, yes. Light, no. At least not for the most part. At least not computer screen lights. I digress. I'm probably 100% wrong. I'm just mad right now. So I'm just trying to paint fruit flies in a much worse light than other flies. But the fact of the fucking matter is, they're all fucking insects. And most insects that I know of are attracted to light. Right? So I digress. I digress. Anyway, right? Fruit flies. Fruit flies, right? Fruit fly. Fruit being in the goddamn name, people. Fruit being in the name. Guess how much fruit I have in my house, right? None. None. Now, when I had said fruit in my home, there were not this many fucking flies. It was like one or two. Told my sons, oh shit, yo, wrap up banana peels in a bag, make sure you throw them out. But then I remembered something that, like, we had bananas earlier in the year, right? So I'm starting to study this shit. I'm serious. I'm not fucking around, people. No shit that annoys me, I look for ways to make it no longer annoy me. You know? Because I can't just physically destroy everything that annoys me. Some things I learned to live with. Some things I learned serve a purpose. Now, for fruit flies, I see no purpose. You know, there's plenty of other flies. There's fucking ants, which if I throw some fucking... trust me, I know this for fact. I know this for fact. Okay? If I take some banana peels, orange peels, and all that shit and bring them outside, I don't see fucking fruit flies. Why, fruit flies, don't I see you outside? Why don't I see you outside, fruit flies? Answer this to me. Is it because you don't live very long? Probably not. Right? Probably not. Which makes me wonder why you even exist. Because if at some point humans did not intervene in your fucking petty existence, you would not exist. At least by some of my studies, right? Because, like I said, I never see you outside. But who I do see outside eating fruit peels, oranges, and things of that nature, ants, bees, things that you probably wouldn't like too much, it would eradicate you instantaneously. Except, why don't they? Fruit fly. You know, I think you're a lie. Okay? Fruit fly. You know why I think you're a lie? Because first things first, there's no way you're going to tell me that your species is limited simply to fruit. Okay, fine. Let's say that's true. How do you reproduce? How? How is it that I will buy bananas from a grocery store? Now, I've worked at orchards. Okay, I've worked at places that pick fruits for retail. And the strict ass fucking things, well, maybe it's more about what it looks like than what it actually is, which usually it is. But they are washed, clean, and a lot of these farms use pesticides, right? So explain to me how fruit flies magically appear in your goddamn fucking house when you buy some fruit. And not just buy fruit. No. But buy fruit and leave it out to sun ripen. I know what you're saying. Oh, they come in through the little cracks in your window. Really? From where? They're just hanging around outside outside people's houses, waiting for them to bring in fucking fruit. When there's a whole goddamn grocery store full of it, a whole goddamn fucking farmer's stand full of fruit and vegetables. And vegetables. Let's not forget that shit, people. Fruits and vegetables, right? Whole goddamn fucking stand full of them. But no, where's the fucking fruit flies at? Not around. Now I know what you're thinking. Where the fuck is this guy going with this shit right here? You see me swatting it, right? Now, normally fruit flies are very tiny. I've noticed them to bring more of the brownish color when it comes to like something that's slightly transparent, right? Small. Annoying like gnats. Like, I've swatted many a gnat and I can't tell you where anything begins or ends. It's just a little black thing that's squished. One of these days I'm gonna like squish one and look at it under a fucking microscope. And I bet you it's probably like a really vicious looking creature. You'd probably be surprised because you'd probably be like, why does it look so mean and evil and it's so tiny? What itty bitty creatures? Why don't you learn from what nature has shown us already? Is that the smaller you are, you're very mean. Look at bugs. God damn it, they're fucking ferocious. It's a good thing they're fucking small. But back to these goddamn fucking fruit flies. Why are they the only ones with a specific designation for what it is their purpose is, right? Like, you know, they say house fly. Now I get why they came up with housefly. Because you don't want them in your house flying around, right? Shoe fly, shoe. Horse flies, because they're around horses. And then, we got a little bit smarter and we started like entomology and shit like that, studying bugs. We realized there's several thousands of flies, depending on how you like to classify them. Now, they could all be looking at us like, we're not all the same, not even on any level that you're thinking. But that's not what this story is about. It's about these goddamn fucking fruit flies. And it's not a story, it's the truth. My theory. Now, if you were to, I don't know, let's Google some shit together. I know nobody else is here, so I'm actually Googling by myself. But, for the sake of argument, let's pretend that you're Googling this with me, okay? Let's pretend that you're Googling this with me. Alright, now, let's Google fruit fly, and let's just see what pops up, right? That's what I'm gonna Google right now. Just fruit. In fact, let's see what happens. F, I see free RPG, stuff I looked at most recently. FR, FRU, fruit, salads, fruit, blah, 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 blah. Let's put I. T. Let's see when they actually, oh my goodness. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down is common fruit fly. Let's click on it, shall we? Why? Let's look at the fruit flies entomology. University of Kentucky. Fruit flies. So hopefully we both learned something here together. Like either that this is a bunch of bullshit and that fruit flies are what I think they are, which I'm not gonna say what I think they are, but Alright, I'll say what I think they are. God damn it. I think they're fucking alien surveillance devices meant to spy on certain individuals in the human race or hybrid human race that suspect that aliens are among us. Like I said, why don't you ever see these fuckers outside? Like, I'll have food open. The only thing I ever see them really try to fuck with, which I think is funny, is my beer, right? I'll be drinking beer, they want to pop up. I ate food, they're not fucking with me while I'm eating my food, which thank God you guys don't, because I would really be upset. Because you're tiny as fuck. And I would never see you in the types of foods that I cook. You guys could be 1,000 fucking goddamn fruit flies deep in a spoonful, and the only thing I would know is if you wiggled around in my mouth. That's how interesting my food is and how disgusting you are. Fruit flies. Ent Fact 621 Fruit Flies by Michael F. Potter, extension entomologist, University of Kentucky College of Agriculture. If you have been seeing small flies or gnats in your kitchen, they're probably fruit flies. Fruit flies can be a problem year-round, but are especially common during late summer fall because they are attracted to ripened or fermenting fruits and vegetables. Attracted to. You know, one of the things that I hope this fucking thing tells me, which is something that none of them have ever told me, and I've read these things before, which is how I know that fruit flies are one of the most common insects to use in all types of weird ass fucking experiments. And here's what I think happened. Some of those goddamn weird ass fruit flies got out of a lab somewhere and somebody just figured, well, they're fucking fruit flies. Who cares? Well, I care, ass. Because they're not just around fruit anymore. They have blood and it's red, which means they're eating other things. You probably, I wouldn't doubt, you sacks of shit probably mixed them with fucking mosquitoes just to see if you could make the fruit fly transmit the same diseases as mosquitoes, considering the fact that a person who eats fruit may not necessarily live around the same areas as those who live around mosquitoes. But once again, I digress. This is my paranoia getting the best of me. Tomatoes, melons, squash, grapes, and other perishable items brought in from the garden are often the cause of an infestation developing indoors. Fruit flies are also attracted to rotting bananas, potatoes, onions, and other unrefrigerated produce purchased at the grocery store. Why? Did they specify grocery store? Now, I've been upset about these goddamn fruit flies not being here when I have fruit, but hey, guess what? I just learned something new. I know that there is a slight possibility, very slight though, that they could be coming from the drain. But I have a trap near the drain, and I would say that this is correct, but they are in places in my house where, guess what? My bedroom door is closed pretty much 24 hours a day. Why are there so many of them in my room? I didn't bring any fruit in there. I don't eat in there at all because I'm very rarely in it. I'm in it all of maybe, well, tonight I'll probably be in it all of 3 to 4 hours, depending on what time I get off of this goddamn live stream. But I want to finish this whole thing that I'm trying to get you to understand about these fucking fruit flies, right? I have potatoes. Didn't know that they might be attracted to, notice how they use these words, attracted to, biology. Let's just get to this. Biology and behavior. Fruit flies are common in homes, restaurants, supermarkets, which I've never really seen them in, and wherever else food is allowed to rot and ferment. That's funny, because a restaurant and a supermarket or a home is not a place that food is allowed to rot or ferment. So you have a restaurant or a supermarket, I don't think you're selling or using rotten food or fermented food, unless of course you ferment hot sauce or other fucking things, at which point, listen, I've made several what I would call sun-brewed hot sauces, never once, and they have vinegar in them, have I ever seen a fucking fruit fly around my hot sauce. But I digress once again. Fruit flies lay their eggs near the surface of fermenting foods or other moist organic materials. So let's scratch fermenting foods from that list, people. At least when it comes to why they're in your fucking house. Because that is obviously not true. Because you did not buy fermented rotting vegetables or fruits for that matter. You bought fresh because that's what they told you it was, fresh. You paid fresh goddamn produce prices for it, didn't you? Yes, you did. $5 to $8 a fucking bag for apples, and it's like maybe 2.5 pounds. You paid that. You paid that. So they're telling you that you paid for some fucking insects. Let's move on. Adults around 1/8 of an inch long and usually have red eyes. The front portion of the body is tan and the rear portion is black. Upon emerging, the tiny larvae continue to feed near the surface of the fermenting mass. This surface feeding characteristic of the larvae is significant in that damaged or overripened portions of fruits and vegetables can be cut away without having to discard the remainder of fear pertaining in developing larvae. Wow. You heard what that just said? It said if I had a piece of fruit that potentially was rotting, that I could throw it away. But I want you to understand, folks, that these bananas that I bought were not ripe. They had to be ripened. My sons did not care and ate all of them within the 2 days that we bought them. So they had no time to over-ripen. And see, in our household, because we've had fruit flies before, and they tell us there's a way to get rid of them, or at least prevent them. Whenever we have a banana that's starting to turn brown, we wrap it in foil and we put it in the freezer because we use it for a smoothie. So explain to me how you've had fucking fruit go brown and not attract fruit flies, but somehow I buy fresh, unripened fruit, and I have more fruit flies than I did. Let's continue to listen to the wording, folks. Now, mind you, these are fucking, like, you have to ask yourself a question. Why are we still studying fruit flies to this day? Number one, they eat rotting fruit, so therefore they do serve a purpose as far as, right, they get rid of waste, right? But were they truly a force of nature, or one created by man passed off on nature? Because let's be real, humans are one of the most annoying fucking creatures when it comes to an ecosystem, right? Fruit flies, in my opinion, based on what I've seen from them, they aren't attracted to my fucking fruit. At what point in the journey from picked from the goddamn tree, unripe, to still not ripe at grocery store, to still not ripe on family refrigerator, to we are not giving two shits about its ripeness, it's banana. So yeah, it might not have that deep banana flavor that we want. but it's banana. That's good enough for us. Eaten within a day of bringing home fruit flies. I have in abundance. And an abundance that makes me so angry. I'm laughing about it right now because if I don't laugh, I'm gonna find every study written on fruit flies by entomologists who continue to use the words like attracted. They're not attracted to anything. They somehow manifest from nowhere. Maybe it's from your fruit. Obviously it is. Why don't you just tell us that their eggs somehow lay dormant for who knows how long? And something that you haven't figured out yet is possibly awakening their eggs, which quickly turn into larvae, which quickly turn to fruit flies. From what I understand, they will have one of the fastest life cycles of any fly. Now, I want you guys to understand, I did not read this yet. I'm reading it with you right now. So, I don't know if what I just said is right. It could be 100% totally wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't pretend to know shit. If I know it, I know it. If I don't, then we'll find out together. Now, the surface feeding character to the larvae is significantly damaged in that the damaged or overripened portions of fruits and vegetables can be cut away without having blah blah blah. We already talked about that. Fruit flies, like, listen to the wording that this entomologist, okay? This is a fucking person who studies insect behavior. Fruit flies are especially attracted to ripened fruits and vegetables in the kitchen. So that means that this person studied fruit flies outside, wherever he could find them, which I don't think you can. And then somehow found out that fruit flies prefer, because they're insects, mind you. Remember, insects have been around since longer than us. But this credited entomologist from the University of Kentucky College of Agriculture, Michael F. Potter. I don't know if extension entomologist means bullshit entomologist or just somebody who's speeding something that we don't know. So we're just going to take it as fact. But let's look at logic here. Attracted to, which means they have to get to whatever it is they're attracted to. And let's look at attraction for what it is. You walk past this girl every day, right? You're attracted to her. Now, when she goes in the house, you don't just automatically pop up within her house because she brought in some fruit you like, right? No, it doesn't work like that. You have to get in. Now, let's say she left the door open. You happen to be on a piece of watermelon she slapped in the house, right? I know what you're saying to yourself. What the fuck does slapped mean? It means whatever the fuck you want it to mean, okay? She slapped it in the house. Slapped it in, right? Bam. You pop off this goddamn watermelon she's fucking slapped in. Now she's mad. Why? Because she didn't expect your ass to be there. She knows that, you just so happen to pop up when some rotten nonsense is going on. But it's no rotten nonsense going on here, so why are you here? Right? That's the question that she's going to have, which is the same question that most would have of anything happening when it's not supposed to happen. Now, I challenge after I'm done spewing my shit, and I know what's gonna happen, right? Every entomologist is gonna tell me, since I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, because I don't go to school for 12 years to get a piece of paper that says I can guess what a bug is thinking. Because that's basically what you have, ass, is a fucking piece of paper that says you can guess what an insect's behavior is, when you have absolutely no fucking clue. How do I know? Because I watch these insects. I watch them do shit that I have never read in any of your fucking papers. And you know what? I look up your papers, because I'm assuming you'll tell me how they breed and shit. But all I've seen so far is you telling me they're attracted to rotten fucking or overripened fruit. Now, this is another reason why I can call your shit bullshit. Right? I know another thing people are going to say, well, maybe it's fruits from other countries. No. No. I've gotten peppers from little fucking Dominican corner stores that I know for a fact get their peppers shipped in here in barrels so that they can avoid dealing with customs. Now I know what you're saying right there. Oh my god. Then that's probably how the fruit flies are getting here. Right? No. That's how they're not getting here. I grow peppers. I've grown peppers for a very long time. Right? And I've watched flowers get pollinated over and over again by bees and shit. Flowers on the tomatoes, one of the most notorious for bees of all kinds, not just honeybees, any bee, any flying creature, for whatever strange reason, loves tomato flowers. Anyway, listen, which are yellow, by the way, not red, yellow. So those of you who think that yellow tomatoes are unnatural, you're wrong. They're actually more natural than red ones. But I don't want to blow your fucking tiny little goddamn mind. Alright, that's not what I came here to do. Actually, I did. But just not about that fact right now. We're talking about fruit flies. Okay? Now let's continue on with this. Remember, University of Kentucky College of Agriculture Extension entomologist by the name of Michael F. Potter. Now I don't know when he wrote this, but I'm going to assume it was recent, you know, because who looks at ancient fucking history? Okay. Now they said you can cut it away, blah, 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 blah. Now here's the thing. The reproductive potential of fruit flies is enormous. Given the opportunity, they will lay about 500 eggs. The entire life cycle from egg to adult can be completed in a week. In a week. In a week, they go from hatching from an egg to an annoying adult, which will then lay 500 more eggs. Notice that they don't really specify, at least yet, you know, other shit. whatever I was trying to say. Now, fruit flies are especially attracted to ripen fruits and vegetables in the kitchen, which I already said. I'm reading this all out of whack right now. I don't know why my eyes are jumping all over the place, but they are. But they will also breed in drains, garbage disposals, empty bottles and cans, trash containers, mops, and cleaning rags. All that is needed for development is a moist film of fermenting material. Infestations can originate from overripened fruits or vegetables that were previously infested and brought into the home. The adults can also fly in from outside through inadequately screened windows and doors. So, like, listen, what this sounds like to me is they exist, right? Like, there's no getting rid of them at all, which I find hard to believe. Because there's one thing about humans that I know we're good at, like absolutely fucking phenomenal at, is getting rid of things. We're actually working on getting rid of us right now. Yep. In so many different ways, too. Global starvation, when there's more land than we could ever use, which means there's plenty of land to grow on. But I digress once again. Mops, a film of fermenting material. Now I know what everyone is thinking, right? I don't have rot on my mop. Yes, you do. They said fermenting material. Everything ferments because everything decays. Now, fruit flies are primarily nuisance pests. However, they also have the potential to contaminate food with bacteria and other disease-producing organisms. Fruit flies are very much considered in the category along with, let's say, mosquitoes and gnats, weak flyers, meaning they can only sustain their flight for very short periods of time, which limits their area of effect to where they are able to fly. So, let's just think of mosquitoes, which are a lot larger than fruit flies, right? You can see them coming. You don't often see the fruit fly until he's in your goddamn face, swirling around and shit. And I don't know anybody here who can tell me that they've ever actually heard a fruit fly, which surprises me, because I've heard gnats. I know what you're saying. No, you haven't. You're just fucking making shit up for the sake of spreading the hate that you're trying to spread about fruit flies. Listen, buddy, I know fruit flies, and they're goddamn okay with me. But here's the thing. They are considered nuisance pests, and however, now mind you, nuisance is the lowest form of pest that any creature can be dubbed by humans, meaning your eradication is not essential. People have to learn to deal with you. However, they also have the potential to contaminate food with bacteria and other disease-producing organisms. But why? You have literally told me that they primarily feed on rotting fruit. You've named them affectionately, I'm assuming, fruit flies. But you're warning me that a fly which pretty much is going to enter my home, whether I do anything to prevent it or not, can potentially lead to my family being contaminated by bacteria and other disease-producing organisms. And you hear that now, folks. So, the entomologist has just told us that these little itty-bitty creatures, which have been experimented on throughout known history, are disease and fucking bacteria carrying organisms which serve no real purpose and are only considered a nuisance. Well, why are they considered a nuisance? Why aren't they killed like mosquitoes and ticks? Because you can't kill them, because they do not exist in nature as they should. And no, they're not from another country somewhere. And there's no, like, I don't get that shit. Like, bugs eat bugs, right? Like this whole lanternfly thing. The United States has plenty of fucking praying mantises, right? Dragonflies and other things. Why can't they eat these other bugs? What has been programmed into these bugs to keep natural predators from eating them? Now, I don't know about you, this shit is fucking banging. Jasmine rice with a 2-day slow cooked pork neck bone stew. Like, I was too mad at work to eat it. I'm eating it now at 5 something in the fucking morning. This is not the type of meal that you just go to sleep after eating. Like, you gotta let this shit digest, or you're gonna wake up and it's not gonna feel good. I think I'm losing weight, whatever. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So now you have these bugs that are everywhere, and they carry disease, and they tell you they're attracted to your shit. Now, I would believe what people say if gnats and fruit flies were exactly the same. But I have actual proof that a gnat and fruit fly are two totally different creatures. Now, it's a tiny flying insect, just like a fruit fly, but you know, you don't know what I'm trying to tell you, what it is. Gnats are like little itty bitty teeny tiny mosquitoes, right? For the most part, they feed on things, you know. They love moisture, sweat, tears, the pinks of your eye. Whatever. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. You wanna know who to stay away from? See if they got a whole bunch of gnats flying around. Because gnats cannot stand badass breath. Why? I don't know. I know I don't have to deal with a whole bunch of gnats because my breath don't stink. But that's not the point. Gnats and fruit flies are two totally different things. If you look them up, you will see that gnats look almost like little bees. Whereas fruit flies, well, little bees / mosquitoes. Because they, eat blood. Fruit flies look more like flies. Like actual flies. That's why a gnat is not called a tiny fly. I think they call them no-see-ums. What is a no-see-um? No. Oh. So, I guess there is a no-see-um. Holy shit. Well, according to no-see-ums, which they don't actually have a name for, they say they're a specific type of gnat. But once again, my point being that fruit flies are not predatory insects. They are waste insects. Waste insects that are coming into your home on stuff that's not waste. Now I could say that nature is crafty, which she is. But I could also say that human beings are crafty as well, which we are. And that this is a human creation to keep humans in control. Now, am I saying that these fruit flies are easily controlled? No. But I will say this. Since this infestation of fruit flies, I've had fevers twice. And my house is clean. It really is. Like, I'll show you. Like, I will show you right now. And you can pretty much see, well, you can see darkness. But if it was light, and any of you who have tuned into a live stream know that there's no, like, prep work going into it. It's live, and that's that. My sons will tell you I am really fucking anal about cleanliness, especially throwing food away. So it bewilders me that a household that throws no garbage away that is actual food, because we eat everything except for the things that we can't eat, obviously, that we would have an infestation of fruit flies. But now I know why, because within a week, one has 500. So I guess we're in for the long haul. Except we're not in for the long haul, because I'm actually a licensed and trained pesticide technician. And now that I know all the places that they're saying these fruit flies adapt to attack you from, like, oh, if they can't eat fruit, then they'll go to your drains. What are they eating in your drain? What? The occasional little piece of food that goes down there? That's getting washed down pipes way down. So, oh, that's right. The film of rotting material, which it's not rotting. You didn't wash rotten food down your sink. You washed that night's dinner down the sink. You're eating rotten food? I gotta go to sleep because it's late. And like, if I don't go to sleep now, I'm not gonna go to sleep. And I gotta go to sleep because I got another 10 hours of work to do in like less than 7 hours.